I think I can just print you one. Hang on. Hey Ben, behind you, on the left of the printer, there's a on button. Yeah, perfect. Sir.
Yep. Practicing my rolls.
That's a good idea. Don't waste.
Yeah, make sure you're. Yep.
Don't waste the good ones.
So here's the question: when you're practicing, when you roll a 1, does that mean you're ready? Like you've got it out of your system?
That's
and
what.
then you're due.
That's
or,
what my.
Or is
that's
it
bad luck?
Or is it when you crit? Then you're ready, but then you've already used the 20, and now the low averages are going to come back to the mean.
No.
Which way is it?
If I roll a 1, I stop there, and I figure that's not going to happen again.
Mm-hmm.
I see. I'm the opposite.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
No, you can't end on a 1.
That's like you're like warming up in basketball, and you're like, I've missed every shot. It's gonna be a great night. Coach better start me.
I know, you can't end practice on a miss.
Right,
This is a pure mathematical
I know.
institution, though.
I know. It's all math, man. There's nothing about like repetitive motion here.
It's all random.
Mm-hmm.
Plus luck.
Really, what we're saying is there's no reason to practice.
It is 100%
We're talking about
chance.
practice. Not the game.
Not the game.
Not the game.
But practice. Yep.
Anybody else want a pencil?
Yes, please.
Yes, also please. Of painting. That's an entirely. That has nothing to do with D&D. I mean, really.
Oh.
I get that it does, but not really. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
People can throw together stuff and still play D&D, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't look as good.
I'll offer this. Have you ever seen this before? This is called bubbly.
I'm afraid it's going to taste like...
It's a sparkling water, like carbonated water kind of thing, but it's flavored like apple.
Yeah.
If any
It's a lot of
individual
brands, right?
here, this is the last one. I've been drinking them as a joke, and Emma got them and she didn't like them at all. I've been drinking them and saying like, stupid catchphrase like, I reach for a cold bubbly on a hot day.
Yeah.
You know, like I've just been doing dumb stuff. I'm not going to try to trick you at all. It's hard to drink.
Yeah, I
But
already know I don't like it.
I feel like if anyone here can pop the top and chug this thing in one go, that I would give them 4 inspiration die.
Chug it in
Keep
one
that-
go.
Keep that around. Keep that around.
Yeah. Okay, wait. Are you saying when the
You want to try and do it in the moment?
I'm not going to do it just for no reason.
When the circumstance comes, and depending on how desperate you are,
If I'm feeling like my throat's scratchy, I'm worried about what's going on,
yeah, you might do it.
there might... Yeah.
So if you feel like you're gonna, like if your roll is the difference between whether you get bit or not,
Right.
you would for sure
Here's-
try and down that thing.
That would go away.
Here's my condition.
Yeah.
Here's my condition. I would
This is
say
hilarious.
what I mean is pop the top and like
Yeah,
Go.
shotgun,
there's
like the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's all 4. I would say if you have to breathe, like if you really have to breathe, you take one breath and you go and
Carbonated,
you
right?
finish it.
Yeah.
It's not gonna
Maybe
be easy.
still 3.
Okay.
But if you can do it all in one go,
Okay.
4 inspiration die. I will even let you use them on the same roll.
Okay.
You know how really you're
Are we
supposed to.
recording this?
You're
This should
supposed
be
to.
recorded.
It's
We started. Okay.
It's documented.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I just want to make that known
Okay. Well,
to everybody at the table here.
I'm ready to take that bullet. I am. I'm willing.
Are we looking for sponsorships or something?
So wait.
Yeah, bubbly.
Bubbly. Save your life.
Terrible.
when you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. when you wanna,
Lovely. We have to bribe people.
when you wanna torture your friends.
What's that stuff that you get from Costco? That really crappy, watery, fizzy drink.
I don't buy it. I don't buy any of it.
It's another
LaCroix.
Or LaCroix,
LaCroix.
yes.
I
Same
feel like
thing.
that's got to be a LaCroix.
It's very similar.
Yeah.
It's got to be similar.
It's
Dude,
like-
LaCroix is like so popular, it's disgusting. I can't
Somebody-
even believe how much stores are selling.
Like-
I've heard that I've never had it. I've heard it's bad.
You want to find out?
There's a market for it.
You get some inspiration to opt.
Dude, women love it though, for sure.
It's like
It's
somebody
really weird.
ate like a
Like, my
carton full of
sister-
strawberries and farted
I-
into a carton of
Yeah,
water.
yeah,
And
yeah.
just
It's
Because
Canned
it's a very faint. It's really,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's weird how not wrong you are though, because like I would say of the people that I've ever heard utter the phrase, "Yeah, I kind of like LaCroix," or "Yeah, I like LaCroix," You're right. It's like 85 or 90% of the... At least that I know.
Yes.
The people that I know.
It is. No,
Yeah.
it's they
I
market.
don't get
They
it.
market to that
I
population.
don't get
I
it.
have one friend that likes it. One.
Do women have different taste buds that
I don't know.
I don't know.
allow them to tolerate it?
See now, I could
maybe.
see. I would see Emma liking it because she's like a super taster. And
She hates it.
She hates it
For that same reason.
for the same reason because it's got a
'Cause
bitterness to it.
It's like, yeah, and so
Yeah.
she gets that bitterness like 10 times more.
Okay. Yeah. I would think she'd taste the flavor of the.
I'm out.
There's
I'll
one
just take.
can
I'll
left
just be
of it in
down.
that fridge.
I'll be down.
There's some warm stuff upstairs if somebody really, really needs a second shot of inspiration.
Alright, give it here. I'll do it.
You can try.
Let's do it.
Wait, are you gonna...
Wait, are you taking it right now?
You're preemptively.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yes.
All right.
There's a tear in Ben's eye.
Yeah.
No, I
No,
feel
listen,
like I've been given a
Here's the
gift.
thing. This man is putting the team on his back because inspiration you can share with your
Give it to
allies.
whoever. Plus, I'm just curious now.
Yeah, but
Well,
you
shit, somebody get a trash can ready.
gotta go whole frame though. That's gonna be the hard part.
Yeah.
All
Alright.
in
Now,
one.
so just
Well,
to
I
be
guess
super
there
clear,
is the steps.
if you can go all in one shot, 4 inspiration dots. If you have to take a breath, I want you back on that thing as quick as you can. I'll give you 3.
It's still 3.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yep.
Alright.
You may love it though. It is possible.
You
can do it.
know.
That might be a girl.
Now that we've worked it up how terrible it is, it may not actually be that bad.
Right.
Where
Right.
most people's like, hey,
Right.
this is good, try it. And you're like, oh. Expecting
You're
different.
already expecting awful.
I know.
Which is, so you're good.
Let's do this thing.
I believe in you.
That's an apple. That's
Holy
What kind of apple?
Holy shit! Oh my god!
oh.
Oh no way! No fucking way!
Oh.
That's good, isn't it?
Good job, good job. I feel like I should clap. I feel like I need to clap.
Yeah,
I need to clap.
that was it.
That was
This is good.
amazing.
Now you
Yeah.
need pizza. Now you need pizza.
That was an amazing act of heroism.
Are you planning on buying some of that?
No.
Okay,
No.
so you just
Sir.
lost us our sponsorship. Thanks. That was literally the wrong answer of all the answers.
We
You
can't.
just on camera.
We'll edit it in post.
Yeah, I don't think we can do that.
He's like, his mouth is going somewhere like, boy, I like bubbly. It looks like
Well, Japanese
MXC.
film.
Yeah, it looks like
That's
MXC
good.
when they double through.
Well done.
Thank you.
I'm impressed. I am thoroughly impressed, dude. You know, the other thing is, you hit it even while we were chuckling and laughing.
Yeah,
And
that's-
I
that's
think
good.
I think that's
Good.
even harder.
Very good mental concentration.
Well, I didn't hear you guys laughing. It was just.
Oh,
What happened? I blacked out.
I don't know.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, lately, Victor has been having some pretty awful dreams.
Oh yes, this is true.
Bloody dreams, like these things, and he wakes up just in a cold sweat every time, so some of the dreams seem familiar in some weird way to him. Some of them are completely foreign and just there's a lot of terror that he feels every time he wakes up, but he doesn't necessarily remember every single second of them.
Yeah.
The ones that he does remember include his father and his mother, and they're just glimpses. But it seems like they're, it's hard to say. Like they're shrouded in kind of a dark, a dark shade.
In the dream world, you can't make out their faces. Kind of
Right,
weird
but
stuff like
I
that.
know that it's them somehow. Whether it's how they carry themselves or just the environment that I'm in, I'm like, okay, that's my parents. But there's a lot of mystery around what's going on with them, and so Victor's been kind of trying to silently work through these things in his own head, trying to figure out why all of this is going through his dreams, but yeah.
I'm going to add to it a little bit too. That's awesome. think some of these. Do you think some of those dreams, like, do you think they started when you first landed, or when you were first bitten?
It seems to have increased since actually we brought her back.
That's absolutely true.
They had been happening ever since I got bit.
Yeah.
But bringing that chick back with us has compounded this experience tenfold.
The other thing is, you had the most vivid dream that was like these dreams when you dropped to zero with when Razorfist had just spiked you.
When I had gone unconscious and I basically
it was
went
the
to
one
that.
where you were most aware within the dream, and you kind of like, there's a lot of different components to it. Like, you can see yourself like somehow going back through this long line of the generations of paladins and holy warriors and the Order of the Iron Shield, like back and back and back. And then you also like find almost like there's like a little static in your dreams sometimes. Like where you said like, oh, it's like, it seems like I know that's my parents, but it's just I can't.
Right.
It's not really like coming in quite clear. I'd say there's also times when you and this one just started when you dropped to zero. You saw yourself as like a colossal creature and just crushing demons, like
Seeing
stomping
in third
them.
person.
Yeah, you're like a mountain
Okay.
and just crushing them under your foot. You're like a god of this world and just smearing them across the landscape. And then at the same time, you have like almost the same situation, but you see yourself just smearing the material plane and humans and everything that you remember from home. Both of those things kind of, which one is it? Is it the one? Is it, the other? You swear you've kind of felt both of them at different times. And I would say, I think you also, like, with some of these, like, definitely a lot of the dreams have to do with, like, family, lineage kind of things. And you almost, like, see, like, new faces that you start to feel like you recognize, but you know you've never seen them before.
Okay. Based on resemblances, or
yeah,
okay.
they look like relatives or cousins or things, but they're not people you've ever seen before.
Okay.
And I think that's kind of where they're at right now. Is that cool?
That's what I was kind of thinking.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Sweet. Dangle, you were bitten, but you don't seem to have any of these dreams.
Nope, just the regular ones.
Yeah, just the regular.
About scantily clad dwarves.
Yeah.
Oh, where their beards go down to about here, their knee-length beards.
Yeah, I mean, it's still PG.
Oh, of course, yeah, the beards. Yeah.
Alright, so here I'm printing up spiking bags in here.
Agrees, yes. I'll try not to ruin this one.
Oh, you're fine. I'll try not to leave that paint out. I thought about that too. I was like, oh, sometimes he said stuff there. I was like, I should chuck that pallet into the trash can. I was like, nope, just forgot to do it. So that happens, like, as you're adventuring and on your way back and everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Are
they night terrors? Do my compatriots hear me shouting in my sleep, or is this?
I would say they definitely wake you up, but I would say that I don't think you necessarily wake up like screaming.
Okay.
But you wake up with like these
racing heart,
like horrible realizations.
Cold
but
sweat,
yep.
Okay.
So, tell me kind of how you guys want to go about coming back to town. Not town, your outpost. Whatever.
I feel like we have to come back in the cover of night. Because we have to do something with her. And we don't want anybody to see us roll up with her, right?
Yeah, that seems like a bad idea.
Yeah. So...
Keep her a secret.
You had mentioned before too, like hiding her in your little waterfall spot, like your tree, essentially. You've got a spot maybe up above here in the cliffs where it's kind of cut out around. You're kind of behind the waterfall and you can kind of eke out. I think you had floated the idea of. I'm just remembering from what you guys had talked about.
Yeah.
That would be another possibility.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, could be a good way to.
Or
Until we figure out who we're gonna ally with.
You guys also have a sense of like, there's a regular day here. Even though you're like in a cave system, everybody kind of wakes up at a usual time. They work on their respective fields during the day at a certain time. You kind of have a little socializing hour, in the evening, and then things kind of die. There's definitely a cycle to the day. It's not like a around the clock operation or anything like that. So you definitely, if that's something you want to do, you definitely think it's possible.
Cool. Okay, so we hide Crazy Bitch. Should we just report to the general right now, or?
Oh, for your really good stories about the dreams, I want to give you 6 inspiration die. No.
Oh, thanks.
Hey. One of these things just doesn't belong here. Dun, dun, dun.
Sorry. Here, just take the sack. I don't know. Just use them when you.
Yeah. Thank you. I worked hard on that story, and I'm glad that you see value.
I approve. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, let's report, or I'll at least report to the general. Let him know what we just went and did.
Cool.
I'm going to say that Vampire's dead.
Perfect.
Both brother and sister gone.
Cool. So the biggest thing though is that if you didn't make it to to Rowan's stronghold.
That's true.
So when you're explaining it to him, he is very concerned, and he goes over like a map with you of like where it happened.
Yeah.
And when you even so then is this, you guys come in, sorry, I should rewind this a little bit. Do you guys come in at night and then in the morning you talk to him, or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So immediately when you're talking to him about this, and then he goes over it with you on the map, he had sent you along this this route that they thought was a secret route that some of the Sentinels had still been using.
Right.
So he goes and he consults with his maps real quick, and then unless there's something like really important for you, he's like he's always been kind of concerned about, there's several other almost like his group, your group is a very different Dread Sentinels group than his group. His is very, very much
Crafters,
engineering
yeah.
establishment kind of stuff, and there's other Dread Sentinel groups like that still stuck, like severed, in the north, that may be using some of those routes. And so when he kind of narrows down like where like the problem is, he has got to get on the horn with the other to kind of essentially update what are like safe routes to them.
Sure.
So he starts getting, and maybe, I don't know, he doesn't have to leave you to do it, but he, unless you have something like really critical that you need to talk to him about, he's starting to like tell like captain by captain, like updating them on like what routes are no longer safe for them up in some of the northern passageways.
Okay.
But is there anything else that you were wanting to talk to him about before he does that?
Not that I can think of. No.
Okay, cool. And it doesn't take him a terribly long time, but it's something where he goes and updates the information, updates the logs, his books, and makes sure.
Yeah, I was just briefing him on our routing and just
perfect.
letting him, letting him know that everything is all set, and just
And
thank you
he's
for the
he's
support.
impressed that you guys have killed. No one's ever come close to killing.
The full on.
Yeah, like there definitely have been like important achievements and things,
Mm-hmm.
but this is like a whole nother rank of higher ups that you guys have been able to touch. So he's very impressed, but at the same time he's also thinking about some of the other Sentinels, so he goes to work on that. But he gives you like a high five. I don't know, kudos. He's impressed.
Thanks,
you can tell from talking to him he's very impressed with you guys.
Thanks, bruh.
Gives you the butt slap.
Yep. That was unnecessary.
He rolls
but
the towel.
unnecessary. I'm gonna go now. Thanks.
Cool. So, where did you end up hiding her?
In your treehouse, right?
Yep, by the waterfall, underneath the waterfall.
Cool.
Little nooked out area.
Sweet.
Nobody knows about that spot. Nobody at all.
Well, you guys do now.
You are the only one who, until now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not even your girlfriend.
Nope. That's not my girlfriend.
Not officially yet.
Right. Not your girlfriend. Sure.
Cool. And
No makeout parties in there with your girlfriend.
no,
Nope.
not yet.
No.
On that note, though, not immediately, but as you're back during that day, she probably spends a lot of her day like working in the forge. Not necessarily like maybe on. Every once in a while, she is working on weapons, and there's a Dread Sentinel squad that takes them and is like supplying other squads in the region. But they try to stay pretty loosely connected, so that like if one squad does get figured out and falls, like it's not a whole swath of everybody that's cut. So from time to time, she's working on weapons. Mostly, she works on like making some of the metal equipment to make the doors and the locks and the infrastructure for fleshing out your guys' place, and also for like other installations and different things like that. So a lot of it is like civil engineering, blacksmithing, but some of it is weapon work. But she's very good at what she does. So that's her day, really. She just she does that until she feels like she wants to take a break. But I think this comes up when you're, does Sandy ever like visit her during the day when she's smithing or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine.
Does when she takes a break, when she comes out to, because the forge is like a hot place.
Sure.
Does she ever come out to just like, and it's nice you guys are by the water. Does she ever come out to kind of cool off? How do you think Sandy runs into her?
Yeah, that's
during,
fair.
During the day.
I think that I think I think that's fair. I think that Sandy is less of a seeker outer of her. I do think that Sandy knows her habits and patterns and clock in times and clock out times. I do think that all of that is duly noted, I do think there's opportunities where Sandy is visible to her from afar on purpose. But
he makes sure that he's hanging around in this area when she has to come
she
and
comes
go
out,
off
things like that, yeah. Or like he'll wait until maybe if I'm up on the waterfall or something, maybe she's visible to him when she comes out, and then Sandy's like he's taking his longest, most accurate shots just to be impressive.
He waits until he hears
she saw it.
Nailed it! He shoots it. He says, "Oh yes, another bullseye!"
Right.
Bullseye number 143 in a row.
It's hard to do after all these push-ups.
That's awesome. So wherever that
essentially just awkwardly talking to himself.
The
reality is.
She always kind of like doesn't giggle at it, but she sees it for. She knows exactly like what it is.
It is his first rodeo.
She still
it's
finds
not
it
her first rodeo.
But she finds it endearing. She thinks it's cute either way. But I think that she actually comes over and talks to Sandy, and she still has a lot more on like her quota list of things she's trying to get done and forge for the day. But she essentially puts it to Sandy that she's like, she's like, the lute. I don't know. Do you play the lute around in the evenings or anything?
Oh, probably. Yeah, I'm betting. Probably not every night. That's probably not a guaranteed thing, just because of Sandy's personality and because he is kind of passive aggressive with things. I think there's mood swings that need to be accounted for, and negative mood swings throughout the day are gonna not want. He's not gonna go out and play for somebody, or you guys or anybody.
So it doesn't have to be the lute, but she's like she's kind of, not that she's like down, but she's like, she's just clocks in every day, and it's like it's just hard. The forge is like really hard work. And she just wants to do something to unwind. So she essentially just asked Sandy, like, hey, think of something, like, let's do something fun tonight. We always hang out, around the, She'll even, I don't think it's just you and her, and she says, like, something like, hey, let's just you and me do something fun tonight. You want to think of something, and then after dinner, let's do something fun.
Yeah, cool. Can I give my idea
and
now?
Sandy just kind of twitches, like, falls over.
Right.
Yeah,
he's taking it well, but he's practicing. Yeah. So I think at this point, like, Sandy's very like, very like, but then also is like, okay, well, we could do it. His brain's racing. So ultimately, the idea that like Sandy comes up with, which I think will most likely, in his mind, keep him comfortable, but also create a good scenario for them to spend time together. But then also, in Sandy's mind, will inevitably end up creating an opportunity for him to maybe show off in some fashion, assuming he can keep it all together. And he says to her that we should go paddleboarding.
Nice.
That evening.
Nice.
The paddleboards will be on some kind of wood that floats. But it's a thing.
You definitely have like some rowboats for when I think Dangle went fishing one time.
Right.
Whatever. So it's,
but for story, can it be paddleboards?
Sure.
I just think it's better.
I think it'd be awesome. Yeah.
Well, the paddleboards are going to make better scenarios.
And you break off the sides and you just have flat.
Yeah.
Dexterity checks.
I'll tell you what. So
well, that's the thing. He's gonna fall in because
when you're talking about it, she's like, "That's a great idea." She's like,
sunset paddleboarding.
She has like some like the halves of like pole arms that would be like pretty good. She's like, it wouldn't. She's like, they'd be kind of crude, but it wouldn't take her much work. She wouldn't make it out of metal, obviously, but she's got like the wood to do that.
Yep.
And she's like, I could strap like I could make some wooden paddles for the ends of them. She says, I'll make the paddles. You make the boards, and we'll
gotta make the boards.
We'll do it. Yeah.
I thought we already had these. Okay, cool. All right, yeah, I'm gonna go make these things.
Yep.
I'm all about that. That's gonna take a minute. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's not like you have to make. It's not like you have to chop down a tree and make them from scratch. There are like supplies for you to make, but
there are boards around.
Perfect.
You could take apart those benches if you wanted to.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a kick-ass bar.
You do that immediately. You just start smashing chairs.
Ready?
Yeah.
Ready when you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think paddleboarding will be a good opportunity for them to get out together.
Yeah, I love it. That's good.
Do something.
One other thing, then, during the day when you're hanging out for lunch, it's just you that's hanging out around the campfire spot and you're eating, and Wadsworth kind of peeks his head out from around here. He's got his notebook that he jotted down like all the measurements of when you were first bitten.
Yeah.
And he's got the notebook and the quill that he used to check on that, and he just peeks out and.
Okay, man. All right, coming.
And so he just walks you back to.
All right.
And then Dangle goes, ooh.
Yeah.
Shut up.
It's fine.
I think I don't think you let him even. You didn't even let him. Or didn't you magically grew? Didn't you like illusion fangs on yourself the first time to make him think that? Yeah. But he only has records of what he had, to try to make sure nothing too crazy was happening. But,
Okay.
So yeah, if you follow him back, he kind of,
Yep.
measures the teeth, looks at them and everything, and consults his drawings from before, and again makes all his records again.
Blood cravings. Problem? Not a problem? Just kidding.
Yes, let's see, and open.
Yeah.
Good. Stretch.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Stretch. Yes. Okay. Good. Very good. All right. And okay. Good. Turn your head. Cough. Cough. Good. Everything seems to be in order. Let me just. So he's going over and it's just from the one time to the other, but you are like from his measurements and also like visibly when he has you like take off your shirt to make all his measurements and stuff, you're like your muscles are more, I don't want to say gaunt or sinewy, but like it's you don't feel dehydrated, but you look dehydrated.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Like your muscles, like in a way they look real badass, like they're
Right.
really veiny. But
Right.
it's
Vascular.
It's almost like it's not like you're bulking up.
Yeah.
You're not any weaker at all.
I'm losing fat.
You're
basically,
losing
it
a
seems
whole
like.
lot of body fat.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And maybe I don't know. Is it maybe like barely visible? The fangs, are they or are they not?
I was half joking about the blood thing. Like
Do you open up to him and tell him?
I was
Here
only half
comes.
joking about it.
Yeah.
We're not
Like,
never
so
gonna-
I've been turned off by fully cooked meat, right? Like
You're going rarer and
yeah,
rarer.
literally, just
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
kind of like
Yeah.
it's too cooked. Just I'm a little worried, but I think maybe I'll be okay. I'll be okay.
We're in uncharted territory.
Do you think that might be why I'm losing like fat and stuff, or
Yeah.
okay? Yeah, because it's not cooked meat. Like I sometimes just eat raw meat. I don't know.
Well,
It's good we can't hear this conversation.
you remember you were
Be
bitten
like,
by a
time for
vampire,
dinner.
right?
That yes, I do remember that. Feel it often actually. The kind of pulses on my neck a little bit.
He almost as like a doctor, like asking like any, like you're craving red meat. This is
Yeah. Yeah.
dreams.
Oh.
Do you you can tell him the truth or you can lie to him.
Nah, just I think it just probably the red meat, gives me nightmares every now and then, but
All right.
nothing quite significant that I
Yeah.
can think of.
So he kind of just he actually kind of goes over it with you, like he's like, I'm seeing, it's like this is why I wanted to record facts instead of just like guessing at it or that kind of stuff. He's like, look here.
Those might be thorough.
He's like, you're getting
Cookies.
you're getting more gaunt, in this regard, and he's kind of to the point now where like he like really trusts you, but he's like if things start getting worse, he's like you've got to come to me first.
I'm only holding back because I want to know what we're gonna do with this chick. I'm not telling him this.
Oh yeah.
I'm only holding back because I want to figure out what we're doing with this girl
Right.
and see if once we dispose of her, if things start subsiding.
Yep. So he just kind of makes all those records in the book and everything, and
Actually,
Mhm.
I don't remember if we decided we were going to tell Wadsworth about this.
I don't know either.
I think we were. We wanted him to experiment on her, right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
I know we didn't want to tell.
We didn't want the captain to know.
Yeah, we don't want the captain to know.
So
What's his name again?
Derek?
Derek.
Wadsworth? Talia. Derek.
there is something I want to talk to you about, Wadsworth. We may have brought back a sample, a very significant sample
Yes?
that we'd like you to look at.
You just ruined my date night, bastard.
Sandy pokes in. Sandy pokes his head in.
Are you talking about things?
My dick.
We're not talking about things.
Yelling at the door. Ruining my date night.
Man.
Trying to whittle these
Like,
these
yeah,
surfboards out
he's
here.
carrying like a table. He breaks the door off of its hinge and he's taking the door away.
I'm like, God damn it, is this thing muted or not? What the hell's going on? So
he says, well, what is it? Like, he thinks you got like something on you. Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna have to bring you to see it. It's not as maneuverable or public as I'd
Things
like.
are getting weird.
Yeah.
Maneuver away, man.
Okay. So yeah, do we know where she's stored now? Did you show us? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not gonna make you make a stealth check. You just wait
Sure.
for the right time.
Yeah.
And when you know that there's no risk.
Yeah.
You sneak around and
I asked Dangle, you want to come with us or?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, Dangle can come with us.
push Wadsworth off the waterfall.
On second thought, yeah, no, let's come on.
I'm busy whittling. So
Yeah,
I
you.
don't know.
I saw
So,
you were
the thing-
busily crafting something. I'm like, yeah, he's fine.
So
I think.
I just want to hear like what they're made out of, or like how you fashioned them.
Yeah.
And how adept are you at this?
Not really.
Any supplies like what we're talking about? Like there's like I said, there's supplies. You don't have to go make your own rope. You don't have to find wood. Like there are things that you can kind of use. So
Yeah. No, good. Like I think you guys see me tossing things into the water to see if they'll float or if they'll sink.
There's too many nails on it.
Probably
Snakes.
step
one
one.
of them's a rock. No, definitely no.
I think that's probably step one. I was like,
Like a badger. Just, yeah.
Potentially barrels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I mean, this could turn into more of a pontoon situation than like
Yeah.
an actual what we're used to for
Yeah.
paddleboarding.
Yep.
So I think I'm testing
Makeshift
things,
stuff.
yes,
Yeah.
to see if they're sinking or if they're floating.
You could even do the little outrigger thing where you've got a board in the little
Mm-hmm.
kind of catamaran style.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. As long as we're not like running on the barrels for
no.
our date night, I think it'll be okay.
It should be strapped. Yeah. Yep. Good.
Leg cardio.
Right.
Yeah.
It's hard to talk.
Cool. So you take him up there, and you sneak in there, and he casts light on like his staff to look around, and he just is that
Yeah.
It's a live one. Or dead one. Live dead?
an
Dead live.
Really hard to
Are the
define.
undead unlive, or are they unliving, undeadified?
She's got a stake in her heart.
Good.
Yep.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Don't touch it.
Okay.
Dangle touches.
Wow. So he and I don't think that you demagicked the
Right.
shadow that
Right.
spell.
She
that's
still
kind
has
of on her,
she.
right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I say,
think you're right.
listen,
Only did it to him.
Yep.
do not unenchant her. That's the only thing that's keeping her the way she
Yeah.
is right now. She'll go to dust if you unenchant her. I'm sure you know this, Wadsworth. You're a smart, bright man.
This is actually.
Yeah, no idea.
He's familiar with magic. Like he gets like how this type of thing could be
Yeah.
accomplished, but it's not a spell you're gonna find in a wizard's spell book.
We discovered
Something we
that
learned
trial
on
and
our
error.
brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, we learned
Yeah.
that on our brother. Don't do that. Just
And
you know.
so I think you go through and like explain everything that you've learned, right? Everything
Yeah.
that you've figured out with the
Do some
little
knowledge
stepping
sharing.
stones, the sun
Yeah.
and moon stones. And so he starts wow, he says, all my implements are in the room. Oh,
we gotta keep her up here.
okay.
We're not telling the general about this. for obvious reasons, right? I mean, the general wouldn't want to know that she's here, and I feel like we have an understanding here that some of our vision for the future doesn't quite line up with his.
Well, are you sure about that?
I thought I was.
If we're keeping her here, you don't.
Wadsworth?
You've trusted
Wadsworth?
me, and I will trust you. But this certainly makes it more complicated.
Well, we're in a complicated place here. Waterfall,
Yeah.
cave.
So he's not gonna, rat you guys out, but he does maybe like express for at least a little bit that he's like, well, it's as much as they, he's not stupid. Like as much as they sometimes disagree about like what to do next, like he's also like Wadsworth is like. He's a part of this squad, and so this is you're essentially.
We might have misstepped a little bit, or I might have misstepped here a little bit.
It's fine. He's not going to tell him.
Okay.
But you're essentially asking him to defy rank, or at least like conceal something from. Like the chain of command gets all kind of goofy now, and you can see his head like trying to process like what are we gonna do about this? So he won't. If you tell him not to, he's not going to. But then he also is pretty limited with like he said, like all his stuff is in there, so he can come and try to sneak out there and study or read up and then check on something or whatnot. But it's not quite like having it all together right there. So.
Is there a way that he could, if we were to tell the general, is there a way that we could protect that body from the general? Where it stays behind closed doors and the general can't get to it? Because the concern that we had was possibly that the general was trying to distract us from the higher-ups in the enemy ranks and somehow be a mole of sorts. I think that's what we had discussed in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And so, in order to protect this test subject now, and not have her ever become dangerous again, we kind of need her to be locked under lock and key against everybody except maybe Wadsworth.
Yeah. That's the way it's set up. I think that you guys have rooms. I'm going back and forth with this. Like, do you think this is your guys' fortress? The biggest thing is it's hidden.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that you're hiding behind the iron walls of a castle.
Yeah.
Its main defense is that it's hidden.
Right.
Do you think that certainly for privacy, I bet you guys have doors.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think that you lock? Do you think you have locks on them? This is just your squad that lives here. You guys tell me. Do you think that they have?
I imagine we fashioned these doors out of what we had available, so we probably don't have complex mechanisms.
But
for
at least some
locks.
sort of barriers. We would have compartmentalization.
I bet you could. Yeah. So I don't think that they even have locks.
Probably wouldn't
But I bet.
slide something or let it fall into.
But see, I don't even know if you would do that because I don't. The idea would be, you close them for privacy, but you're not needing necessarily to protect each other from each other.
Mm-hmm.
I bet they're just doors.
Mm.
I bet you could build a mechanism like that, but I don't think that any of them have anything like that.
Are there any loose boards underneath your bed or something that we could pry up and put her into, stuff her in there?
We are in a cave.
Yeah. But boards.
Loose rocks.
Yeah. Boards.
You just put it in a barrel.
We could put her pickle barrel. Pickle barrel?
Yeah.
Just don't dislodge the thing in her.
You could. The beds are such that like you've actually kind of maybe treated yourself to like some real style kind of beds. They're not just like cots on the or sleeping rolls on the floor.
Yeah.
So you could maybe slide a body underneath it and leave the covers over or something. You could kind of hide it that way if you wanted to. I think that makes sense.
Okay. What do you think?
I'm not with you guys.
Yeah.
You're furiously trying to figure out whatever can
I'm
float.
crafting.
I mean, we can't have Wadsworth unable to operate on her, right? So we got to bring her in. I feel like.
Yeah, let's bring it to the lab.
Okay. Let's bring her to the lab.
Cool. So you probably need to wait another evening and do it at night again? Is
Yeah.
that what you're planning on doing?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Hope she doesn't start stinking or something.
No real change. It's almost like she's like
In a
this,
completely
this
dormant state.
state kind of like freezes her. So it's
Yeah.
like she's just kind of
Limbo.
paralyzed in this state.
She's all Snow Whited
But
out,
Derek is really kind of
or Cinderella out.
you know, or sorry, not Derek. Wadsworth is when you're talking to him about Derek. He's like, do you really distrust Derek? He's like, we
We've had,
kind of need to stick together here, you know.
I agree. There's just there have been some things that we've noticed in how he handles things. And I'm not talking mutiny here.
Sure sounds like it.
Okay.
You're not even here. Get on my head.
Yeah. You're all talking via the code. You're working on the thing. You're like, sure sounds like.
We're not talking mutiny here. We're talking strategic withholding of information.
Okay.
Wadsworth, there's sticking together, and then there's sticking together.
Huh?
You understand?
No.
Listen, snitches get stitches.
Oh.
Right.
Okay.
Even out here.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
Especially.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
You're getting a little scary here. I don't want Wadsworth too scared to shake.
though.
I know he'll be okay. Just don't get the shakes or anything.
So he says, well, this is what.
Wadsworth, how do you think the general would react to us bringing a half-dead vampire in here?
Well, you brought her back for us to study,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah. And
This is an unprecedented accomplishment.
okay.
But certainly, this can only help us.
Right. Yeah, but what if somebody wanted to
There's
undo all of our work by
In-
taking the stake out of her heart and allowing her to go free?
Why the hell would anyone do that?
I don't know.
Well, and you're not wrong to be concerned. We certainly don't want that stake coming out.
Right.
We must be careful. But, I must say, I'm surprised to hear you voice these concerns about Derek. I gave you my word. I will keep quiet, but, we'll wait until we have thought this through and know what to do, but, I don't think it's too good to keep this a secret for too long.
No,
This
it
could
won't be for long.
too important of a
Agreed.
discovery.
Totally agree. But we want to get some initial testing in before we bring it up.
Okay. Very well. All right. So he's almost like a, the reaction that you get off of him is like that he's just kind of, he listens to you, but he's almost kind of like he's not ever formulated that thought before. Like they've had they disagreed on how to go about accomplishing things, but in his mind he had never
Made that
made a
connection.
jump to like him that he thinks he would do anything like that. But if you want him to give you his word, he does, and he won't tell Derek for now. But
All right.
But he doesn't think it's a good idea to keep this
Under wraps.
super under wraps for all too long.
All right.
Right. There's two. The things that he talks about are like, he starts looking up too, like ways. He goes back to the Van Persem books that he looked up when you first were worried about getting bitten, and then ways that they can. He's like, can we keep her paralyzed but somehow be able to interrogate her? Can we, you can't put a value strategically on what this could mean. So he wants to make sure he knows like what to do or how to keep her interred or from
This is what I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna to try to allay his fears. That this is what I'd like to do. So I'd like for you to get your hands on her and do your tests, and then when we do tell the general, we get her out of here at the same time that we tell the general. We move her up the flagpole to the other mages and the test lab rats.
Okay. Yeah.
We want to send it to the lab.
Yeah. Okay.
After you're done with your work, we're doing this kind of as a gesture, right?
Okay.
We want her out of here as soon as you're done,
All right.
and then the lab can have her.
All right.
I don't want her here after that.
What do you specifically? What's the biggest thing that you're wanting him to do research on to figure out?
Any kind of way to reverse the effects that I'm getting.
Right.
Any kind of potion that he can make that would cure vampirism.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you more specifically or maybe generally like the connection between her and what may or may not be the link between her and your parent.
Yeah. Is Dangle are you getting any?
As far as I know.
No.
I mean, I've always been.
Oh yeah. Well, you've always been very muscular.
I'm no more yoked than usual. I don't know. What do you think? I'm just.
Just okay. So you're not the same way I am.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, anyway, yeah. Test away. Let me know when you're done with what you want. Take her blood, whatever you want to do, and then we're gonna send her off to the lab. That's
date night.
Date night for this, bro.
Cool.
The body isn't moved.
No, unless you tell me. Oh no! Wait.
The body's moved.
We had to wait.
At
we
night.
had to wait.
But you want
We have
to do
to
it.
wait.
It's not right now.
Date night has to happen.
Okay, date night will
before.
happen before. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yes. Right.
It
Cool.
has to. In our
Timeline,
storyline.
yes.
Yep.
The body isn't moved. The body's not
So
moved.
Not yet.
it still is kind of midday, and but you've had several hours to work on it. What do you
It's
got?
taken me.
What do you
it's
got
taken
going?
me several hours. Alright, so she ends up there. You guys are in here, I suppose. Yeah, I'm throwing things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like,
I gotta tell you, it's hard enough to paint human eyes. Hobbit eyes
It's tiny.
are the head is like half or 3/4 size, and I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever be able to paint eyes on a hobbit. Yeah. The problem is like it's hard to get that small of a drop of paint on a brush.
yeah.
Right.
Unless I don't know. Unless I figure out there may be
a
some tricks.
hypodermic needle.
Yeah, even that I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I might think of something, but I was like, I'll F this. I'm
You might have
gonna
to-
finish it. I'm gonna worry about the eyes later.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
so what do they
no.
look like? They can be different too. Like, do you
Yeah.
make one for her? Do you make his and her paddleboards?
No. It took me so long to figure out how to construct one. I did duplicate it.
Yeah.
So that's for sure. Like, and I think how they turned out is there's barrels, and there is like a plank across them,
Nice.
and they're tied,
And
and that's one.
when,
So there's two
when a
of
person's weight gets on it,
The barrel is-
the wood plank is about
that. Pretty close.
the water level.
Yep,
right.
pretty
You
close.
work it out so that it's
Yep.
cool.
Yeah. So it's a doable situation. where we think we can get on them and paddle around
Love it.
the lake a little bit.
I'm thinking like a survival check to see how cosmetically good they look.
Okay, cosmetically good.
Like they're going to be functional.
Sure.
They're going to be functional, but
Sure.
I want to know
Whether or
I
not
wanna
she's going to
know-
be impressed.
I want to know
Probably
how
not.
good they look. Yeah.
All right. No, it's a 5.
So they're a little bit rough.
The barrels aren't necessarily all the same size. I may not have mentioned that.
Oh yeah, they're real tipsy. Yeah, that's all right. Okay.
But you just have to stand not in the middle. You just have to stand a little bit more forward.
Right.
You gotta wear
to
shoes,
figure-
otherwise you get splinters in your feet.
Yeah,
figure it out.
yeah.
I didn't have
The
time to
ropes
stand
are
up.
really frayed. Yeah. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, like this is
the
good.
the barrels are strapped to the boards. They're secure. They're not going to go anywhere. But they're not like tight, rigid to it. They're kind of like
Yeah.
kind of like a little bit loose.
Yeah, that's probably right.
Yeah. Okay. He's
He's like, I thought you had all day to do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like
Be impressed.
yeah, exactly. No, I feel accomplished. Like Sandy feels accomplished, excited. So are we sailing? Are we setting sail?
You
Not
will.
yet.
There's the one last thing.
Okay.
Wadsworth, I think, comes to Dangle, and he says, "I know that you've had your
What you want, Blandolph?
yes. Well, he says, I was thinking, with a little practice, I think I could dust off the old stuff and shake off some of the old rust there, and well, I think if I could train a little bit with somebody, I think I could come along on one of your adventures."
Is that what you think?
Yeah, so I guess I should also say, did that end up printing? No, it didn't. Oh, forget this thing.
Yeah, I can read all that.
Yeah, you're
It's
good.
Sorry.
Which one are you attuned to?
I was attuned with Spike
Like,
under
okay.
false circumstances.
Yeah. Yep. And so I think Spike kind of, the mental connection, like, Dangle, this is a perfect opportunity to make things right.
But I have to spend time with it.
Yes, that's correct. Look in his eyes. He could be a valuable member of this team.
I'm just not sure we need a wizard.
He could be very useful in a number of circumstances. Why not?
And Dangle thinks to himself, like, I guess if we need a meat shield at any point in
I
time.
think we might. Yeah, I think we might.
But then he speaks to Spike, I see your point.
See, yeah. I could hide behind. I could get 3/4 cover. Yeah. I'm a halfling. I could get total cover from. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Cool.
He
So,
would be through the roof.
yeah, I think.
All right, Spike, you got it. You got it. All right, we'll train him.
Awesome. He says, "I'll get ready.
Please don't ever thumbs up again at me, Wadsworth.
I'll get ready."
Fine.
And he keeps going back and forth, unsure. And whichever one you end up doing, do you at all?
I mage handed.
Okay, you mage hand. Whichever one the mage hand does,
As I'm walking away.
it's the opposite. He doesn't get it. He gets the but cool.
Yeah,
So,
or
white
or
people.
I think it's more like he is trying to give the fist pound, and you mage hand it, and on your way out, you're like, "Hey, paper covers rock," or something.
Yeah.
You're like making fun of him. Right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, bitch. And he's like, oh. Yep. Awesome. Okay, so I think
Wait.
that.
Wait,
Yeah.
no. As I walk out the door, I cast invisibility,
Mm-hmm.
and I sneak back in and say, "First lesson,
Nice.
Good one. Oh, good one. Master Dangle. Good. Very good.
Stay on your toes.
I'll get ready.
Gotta have your head on a swivel.
That's right. That's right. That's oh. I think I felt something crack. So I think that you need to paddle boat before, like, there's still plenty of daylight. But I think you need to paddle boat in the evening. She's got all her stuff done.
It's a good sunset situation.
And it's exactly. So it's a good time to hit it.
I'm trying to press the board down enough to try and get her on it, to get it going.
Yeah.
And it seems to have gone okay. She's kind of on her way, and now I'm very much like, oh right, I got to get on mine now.
Yeah.
And I think that I do struggle enough. I get on it. She's a ways out ahead of me. I am able to kind of catch up to be near her, but in doing so, I experience my first blackout, which is.
Oh, no.
Hey, are you? Hang on. Wait.
Which is a problem.
Immediately, when are you?
It's like as I'm nearing her. Now I'm like passing her.
But are you out? Are you still near the rocks, or are you like out
close?
on the water?
We're on the we're going on the shore, maybe on the shoreline.
Okay. Oh, okay. Cool. You're kind of hugging.
Yeah, we're hugging.
I got
we're
you.
hugging
Cool.
Is that
cool,
all right?
cool. Yeah, that's
Makes sense,
perfectly. That's cool.
Yeah, so I do experience my first
And you
blackout.
lose it.
This is me in the water. No,
Okay.
yeah.
Are you sure you lose it? Do you want to make a check to see if you can keep it together? Or do you think you just lose it?
I'm pretty sure that I lost.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's out ahead of you.
Well, this
was
me. This was me about to catch up, and so in resulting peripheral, this is her turning to address me as finally making it there. And that's what just
she's having a blast, right?
I lose it.
Like to someone else, like this might be like hard work, like the balancing and stuff, but like. And with every stroke, like she's just
it takes two for me.
She's like
it takes two.
I kind of imagine a little bit of like a
she's a CrossFit.
Terminator 2 Sarah Connor build.
Yeah, she's a CrossFit trainer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. She's CrossFit.
CrossFit.
But and she just can. So at first, I think she's having fun genuinely, and she's just like so far out ahead, because it was maybe a little tricky to get on at first, and then she's just got the power, like she's just going at it.
Yep.
But so then you catch up and you just totally unconscious or just losing your balance.
Well, it's the chill of the water against my face that wakes me.
Wakes you up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that's fair. I think there's enough of a blackout that my body goes limp.
I don't know if this is necessarily any ability check. I just want to know how bad it is, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
So this isn't like a roll that you add anything to. This is just
this is a straight.
And good, higher is better. Higher is not bad.
We want it to be higher. 14.
Cool,
so we'll take
not
it.
bad.
We'll take
Yeah. So exactly. So you kind of lose it, but then it's like the cold water, and you get like a little bit in your nose.
Yeah.
And it's like, but it's not so horrible. You're like you cough out some water, but
and I'm able to pull
it's
myself
good.
back on.
It's good. You get back
largely
up.
Embarrassing.
Yeah.
She had a good chuckle out of it. I'm largely embarrassed.
She gives you the paddle to help get you up. Yeah,
which is
cool.
good. So really, at this point, I'm like, okay, and like I really think that like I direct our
She's
attention.
like, these things are kind of hard to stand on.
Yeah.
You all right there?
I don't think I need to waste any time in directing us back to the waterfall.
Oh yeah.
Because I tell her like, hey, there's just something that like you'll be really interested in, kind of a deal. Because I want to go show her the body.
Mm-hmm. The body. Cool. Awesome. So so you make your way back, and then right on. So fun time. Like this is like the perfect thing for her. Like exactly like you say. Like she's a super like athletic, hard work, like strong. Like she hits the forge all day. So like CrossFit is like a really apt description, and she just has a blast. It's good. It's a good fun time. Sandy's successful first what could actually be considered a date.
Yep. Made it.
And then, and has she ever? Did you ever play I don't know why this is popping into my head. Did you ever play the lute from behind the waterfall? Did you ever hang out there and play the lute sometimes?
It's possible. It's possible.
Yeah.
It's very possible.
So I wonder if she didn't know
like-
exactly where it was, but she's heard you.
Yeah, sure.
Playing
from
there.
a distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
Because the way I picture it behind the way that I pictured it behind the waterfall is not on ground.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're gonna go up a little bit,
Yeah.
and then there's maybe a 6 foot, maybe 6 foot height. Not that it's a cave. It's like this nook.
Cool.
Inc-
So
Not real deep. Yeah.
she's had this is a one.
Yeah.
It's exactly what she wanted. She had a lot of fun. It's like her first date with Sandy, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, like I've heard you hang out and play the lute there." And I think she may be like the one who. It's not that she tries to dominate the conversation, but
I don't have a need to talk.
but
Or
she
what am I gonna
but
say?
she's just kind of talking like, "Yeah, I've heard you play the lute up here sometimes." And he's like, yeah. So she's kind of talking with
Have a twitch.
and she's just talking as you kind of leave her there, and then so she's had this really fun date. She's really kind of like let loose, and it really kind of helps her de-stress from just like the repetition work of the forest.
And then you go and show her
and
a corpse.
then there's like this look of like weird kind of shock as she thinks you're kind of leading her to like your cute place where you might I'll just give you a brief insight into her mind. She's like, oh, maybe he's gonna play the lute here, we can hang out here in the waterfall. And then she sees the unconscious body of another woman, and she's like she's kind of maybe talking to you, and then she kind of like stops cold and then like looks back at you like
Yeah. Now, Sandy, none of the normal response that she's giving him is the actual. He's gonna know what she's thinking.
right.
Response.
I think she
So
looks at the
gonna
body, and
he's now boldly like standing between the two of them, like
and then she looks at the body and she's speechless.
all right.
And then she looks back at Sandy, and she's like, she kind of does a few like back to the.
And like I'm still expecting to hear some like vigorous praise coming from her about.
Yeah.
It's like you brought her a dead rat.
Yeah.
Yes. So I don't think I don't know if she's never seen.
Oh, she doesn't know what she's
She
seeing.
hasn't ever seen the vampires,
Yeah.
So
Fair.
she just sees like
Fair.
like
a woman with
like a woman.
a piece of wood in her chest.
Yeah. Maybe okay. Let's do this. Let's see how. I think to be fair, we should let her try to size up the situation.
All right.
We'll have her. Actually, I tell you what. You roll for Talia. Roll her perception check. I
Like
think
an
I
insight
did.
check or something for her?
So, all right.
This is not going as planned.
It's a
Middle of
10.
the road.
It is a 10. Solid 10.
Okay, she's a. Yeah. All right. So, she just kind of.
You're not getting lucky.
She doesn't notice the stake. She just is kind
Sandy
of like
wouldn't know what to do.
it's like it's in the evening. It's a little darker. She doesn't pick up on any of the things that would like signal like a vampire. She can't see like the mouth of the teeth. She just sees, like I say, she doesn't pick up on the stake or anything. She just sees like a, and then you kind of like look like emboldened, and then she's just like she doesn't know what to make of it.
Yes,
She just
fair.
doesn't know, and so she's like, Sandy, what's that?
Right. And I feel like that Sandy's response now is like, well, it's exactly what you asked for.
she says, I don't know if I'm into this kind of thing.
She's like, oh, you said sling. You've seen those commercials for Sling
What?
TV?
Oh yes,
It's like they're swingers.
Swingers.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, that is really funny. The guy's
The guy's like, I
he's
just-
like, yeah. It's like,
Well, the other guy's just like, I just really didn't want to take my clothes off.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
that commercial's so funny. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, no, so like, so I feel like now that like Sandy might be like almost puzzled as to why she
Yeah.
isn't impressed with
She's
what
like,
lies
"Where-"
before
she's
her.
like, where? She's like, who is that?
And Sandy's like, well, I don't know the vampire's name. I'm like,
It's Catalina.
yeah, but I'm gonna say that I didn't
Yeah.
know it.
She's like,
Dang, it's Catalina.
she's like, I thought this was like a you and me thing.
And
I don't
so
know."
Sandy's like, wait. Remember all of the parts and the things that I was collecting for you?
Wait. She says you got the from
The 12 gauge? Yeah.
from this.
No. Come take a closer look. Come take a closer look. They're like, well, I can't bring her to you. That her heart is staked.
And then
Sandy's
she
like-
puts it together. She's like,
He's like,
this is the vampire?
we brought her back. We brought her all the way back.
Holy shit!
Uh-huh.
So then she gets up close and then she can like see it, but she's like, oh, you see like a big relief come over her, and she's like, how did you do this? This is amazing. This is unreal.
And we're not telling Derek.
And why?
Well, wait a minute though. For what it's worth,
Yeah.
if we go back in the storyline, when she visited me that night when I had the suspenders,
Yes.
she did that under cover of not wanting Derek to know that I was bringing her back.
She wanted.
Apart.
Yes, she wanted you guys
So
to
this
go.
should align with what her desire for me was, right?
Well, so in
Similar?
a way, and this is maybe a good time where I need to like clarify things, right? She definitely wanted you guys to get the
Weapons and
get
stuff.
the weapons and stuff to do for her and Wadsworth to do research on first. She wanted to make that a priority,
Yes.
but she's like, and maybe
But
maybe
in my,
you start
but I
talking
do
about,
think in
yeah.
Sandy's mind
Mhm.
that this is the culmination of what he interpreted her asking of him.
Yeah, and you're not wrong. This is
So-
this is huge. Like
Yeah.
she's like
More than she could have imagined.
yeah, this is grade A material. Like, she's like a huge mix of like excited, but then also like
So
but
Sandy's back to his post.
yeah, she's like, this is amazing. She may be like, now she gets it. She maybe like gives Sandy like a big hug. She's like, this is amazing. Like you guys are.
Wait, you
she's
say
like,
she hugged me?
Oh yeah.
I should roll.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
She says, like, this is amazing. She says, and she's like, hugging, she says, like, you guys are incredible. Like, you've never, yeah, she's wet. You guys are wet from paddleboarding.
I'm gonna roll to see if I
Hang
pass
on a
out,
second. Let me
hit
think
my
about
head
this.
on the rock,
This is a pretty hard
or
check.
fall
isn't it?
out of the
This is a pretty difficult check,
fall
I
off
think,
the
for Sandy, isn't it?
waterfall. Yeah, this is he doesn't have advantage on this shit.
No,
if that's
because
what
you
you're
both
asking.
have been. Let's be honest. If you're paddleboarding,
Well, this is
You're-
right. We
you're
never.
both wet.
Well,
in your
it was.
swimsuits
This is.
in a closed space together.
Yeah, I mean,
This is a lot more than Sandy's ever had
this-
to handle before.
Correct. This is for sure like breaching. This is
Yeah.
the next rung in the ladder.
Yes. Yeah.
This is the next rung in the
Yeah.
ladder.
Yep.
He's not really on a baseball diamond yet, so these aren't bases because
No.
he's still not the first.
No,
Does that make sense?
yeah,
But like,
no.
look, this is wrong.
He's
He's
trying
to the ladder.
to get
Yeah.
a spot on the roster. He's trying to
Right.
get.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Still in spring training. Like,
What did we? These were Constitution, right? Like you trying to hold up.
yeah, I think they were.
Yeah. Cool.
So, but like, I need to. What does it need to be?
I feel
You
like.
need like I need to make.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I feel like this is one of the tougher ones Sandy has done.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say. I don't want to be crazy. I think this is like a 16.
Yeah.
It's pretty tough.
Yeah. Okay. I know. I like it. Am I adding Constitution to my roll?
Yeah. Yep. Con save.
So I didn't make it. I'm at 14.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I for sure like.
You enjoy it for a few seconds, and then she feels your body kind of go limp, and she doesn't let your head crack the ground.
She can support me to let me
out.
out. Yeah.
Oh, easily. So she doesn't let your head just slam against the cave, but you wake up kind of just
Yeah.
on the floor there in the cave.
And then when I do come to, I think like now that
she's
she
like,
understands.
whoa, don't sit up too fast.
Well, now that she understands like what's going on, all this stuff, like
she's like, this is great. Like
Yeah.
this is what we need to do. But she's like, this is something. And her thing before was maybe to connect what you're kind of talking about, right? Her concern was like, we are not getting enough done. We are not getting enough done with these little pick and fight and retreat guerrilla tactics. Like, she's like, I want to plow and make a difference. I want to feel like I'm making a difference. So she's like, this is like the biggest accomplishment like the Dread Sentinels in this area have been able to get. And she's like, we've got to capitalize on this. We've got to. She kind of brings up maybe some of the same things. She's like, we can. If you talk to Wadsworth, like we can. There's so much that we can figure out.
we have talked to Wadsworth.
Okay.
I wasn't there. Don't know what was talked about, but I know that he's been here, so I know that he knows.
Awesome.
Then we're not telling Derek.
Okay. And she's
Okay, cool. So I brought you some other fun things
Uh-huh.
from my last outing, like
Oh
what
yeah. What
some
else did you do?
pieces from the battlefield. I feel like now's a good time.
She takes me. She's like, and so
For me to-
we're not telling Derek why.
I feel like now's a good time for me to. Well, we're not gonna tell Derek. We decided not to tell Derek.
Okay. She's
Yeah.
like,
So don't tell Derek.
Okay. But Derek's the captain.
Right, but for the same reasons that you came to me and said you needed the thing so you could build the thing so that we could defeat the things. We're not gonna tell Derek. He's slowing us down.
Okay. But so she doesn't have like a line to other, other captains or things. So she's like, so how are we gonna do that?
You're asking me how we're just not gonna tell Derek?
No, how are we not gonna tell Derek, but then also make good use of this with other Dread Sentinels?
Well, what is it that you need? What is it like? This is the smorgasbord. What is it that you need? Is there anything here that would be useful to you?
She says, well, yeah, we'll be able to figure out a lot, but she says, but it's the captains are the ones that communicate with each other. If we figure something out, we've got to let Derek know so that we can let the other captains know.
But we haven't figured anything out yet, so let's just leave it as we're not telling Derek.
Okay.
So I got you this other stuff here, and I give her the things that I got.
Now you recovered. You did recover the 6-gauge special last time, I think.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's in here. Your demon. Yeah, it's in here. So so it's.
So I think it's not
on the bag.
It's not in mint condition, right? It's been used. She's like, I think I can recartridge this.
Yes, good.
Uh-huh.
Does she care? Does she want to know? Because I feel like I'm proud of it. The things that I recovered.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
her.
She'll ask you so how'd it go? Like, did you?
Yep.
How'd you like the modifications?
Oh yeah, from the things that you made me last time. They were unexpectedly fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah, you know.
I had to make the best of what I was given.
It was you handled it very professionally.
Very professional. That's good. I like it.
Yeah.
Emphasis on handled it. So, so it'd be really cool. I brought you some other things. Maybe you could make me some other stuff sometime, and I could take it back out in the battlefield with me. I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So there's the stuff.
Nice.
Yep.
What else? Did you have any new stuff?
I
forgot
wrote
what
it down.
you
Yeah,
had.
I took the horns off of Razor's Fist.
Oh,
When we
nice.
defeated him,
Yes,
I cut his horns. Off of Catalina, I did take her sword, and I pulled out the fangs.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I actually plucked those. Yeah. There was a demon tongue
Yep.
off the battlefield that I cut, and then off of Rowan, I picked up that green syringe
Right.
That
yeah.
healed me.
that healed you.
Mhm.
So I brought back the empty, I guess, the cartridge or whatever, and then I grabbed a sword and some teeth,
So
and then
the
I
syringe, she kind of goes, "This is something you should ask Wadsworth about."
and I'm like, okay.
So she said, "That's cool." She's like, "But I don't
That
do
that thing
alchemy
that she
stuff."
needed.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, it's cool.
And I also show her that I had that I put in a jar, corked of some kind, so it wouldn't get wet.
Mhm.
I had also brought back bloody dirt. It was a bloody dirt sample that I took.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
from.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So anyway, that's what it was.
Nice. Is there any particular type of thing that do you want me to
Yes,
just get creative? or
I'm
what are you
asking.
looking for?
I'm asking her for green blade arrows.
Mm.
Green blade arrows.
Green flame.
Green flame.
Oh, like his cantrip thing.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it
Green flame
in
arrows.
so?
It was just something that I wrote down.
Okay. Is it that you? What effect are you wanting to accomplish? Are you wanting like multiple targets thing that the green flame jumps, or are you
Yeah, the
AoE?
jumping. No, the jumping is actually probably
Okay.
what it's more of a lightning.
Yeah.
you know.
Okay.
The chain reaction thing is what I think would be a good fit
Cool.
for me to, be
Fun.
effective against a horde.
Sweet. So she says, I'll get to working on something. So I'll cook up some stuff like from time to time. Each time that you talk to her, you tell me what you'd kind of like her to develop,
Yep.
and I will kind of work on it.
Cool. Yeah. So it's getting late, and I feel like I'm a little bit nervous. Sandy's a little bit nervous now, and he's like, I think everybody's probably around the campfire by now. We should probably.
Yeah.
They're probably missing us. We should
Sure.
probably
Yeah. Cool.
get back. But
And she stops for a second to look back at she's like, it's amazing. But yeah, cool. So y'all come back together.
Yeah, good. Success.
Oh yeah. So training time. I think
It's gonna be great.
do you come to Wadsworth or do you wait for Wadsworth to come get you?
No, I come and find him.
Okay.
Like another I sneak up on him again and just
Okay.
whack him with my dagger hilt or something.
Nice. I think you do that like several times during the day.
Oh, for sure.
And then so he kind of gets ready. This is probably like at the same time. So while they're out doing their thing, Wadsworth had told you to come. He'll set up like a little sparring thing in there, and you come.
You're gonna spar with Wadsworth inside his chemistry lab.
Yep. And
Oh my gosh.
and so that's where it's gonna happen.
Right. Yeah.
So you come in there, and he's got like a red bandana thing tied
It's like
across.
Karate Kid.
Exactly. And he has it magically somehow like blowing, even though there's no
Yeah.
wind.
Like
He's
a
got it blowing.
Yeah.
There's a mage hand that's like caressing the two little the ends of the bandana to make it look like they're flowing in the breeze. And he's got that staff that Victor gave him, and so he says, "Are you ready?
Are you ready, old man?
Let's do this." So, I think it would be too crazy to have you guys play out like a one-on-one fight, but almost what about a best of 5 Arcana checks back and forth to see how the sparring session goes. Right?
Yeah, it's awesome for sure.
It's arcane rock paper scissors.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what this just turned into.
Sorry, let me just remember here what he's.
Dude, if you get in a really bad spot, you can use your inspiration die. Don't lose to this old man.
Don't ever.
Not gonna happen.
He's like, I'm not using those on this. Yeah. All right. So I'll tell you what. Let's do this. We'll each, like I said, we'll do like a best of 5, and whichever wins will just narrate what you do, like sparring back and forth together.
All right.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So do you try to influence it all, or he catches you off guard for the very first thing, and he
Sucker punch.
Yeah, you hadn't actually started yet, and he just like.
He's like, "Are you ready?" And so you're right. He's like, "Are you ready?" He's like, "Sure am." Magic missile. and so it's nothing amazing, but they boom. They just barrage and kind of catch you off guard first.
Didn't say go yet.
Yeah. All right. Wadsworth 1. Dangle 0.
No, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
All right. I'll let him.
Oh,
nice. Yeah, cool. So sweet. All right. So what do you do? What do you do to come back at him on the second?
So for this one, obviously, I want to use my rogue skills. So cast invisibility,
Mm-hmm.
and then I just end up behind him,
Yep.
and I just again whack him with like a practice dagger.
Okay. Yeah.
Back of the
Like
head.
a wooden. You've got like
Yeah.
wooden implements. It's not like you're trying to gut each other.
I thought you were gonna say it was like a dagger that had a spring handle, so it actually like it actually
Yeah,
the blade actually went back into the handle.
Yes. Yes. Those things. Yeah. That's
Like
awesome.
this is a practice one, but the poison tip
Yeah.
is real.
you jab him real hard, and he, it's from behind him, and he stumbles forward, and then you turn around and face each other again. So
1-1.
1-1.
Oh, this is good. What's Ronnie's?
20 altogether.
yeah, I'll tell you what, we'll go
Roll
with that.
Yeah, roll. Roll again.
Okay,
Jack that. Oh man.
awesome. Okay,
What's your addition?
26. What are you?
20.
Cool. All right. I think he catches you with a ray of frost. He tucks the staff underneath his arm, and he goes, and he makes the sound effects like he did before, and just this swath of frost like cuts across the room, and he catches you in it. But like behind you, like the books on the shelf, the one line of books is frozen, and like some of his stuff gets all frozen, and this ice is forming on everything, and he catches you, and it actually like slows you down a little bit too. So it kind of freezes, like, I don't know, your arm kind of stiffens up. Okay.
All right.
So you guys are both adding 8 to your rolls.
Are you 8?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we might as well just go off the die.
Yep. Ooh! Old man! Old man!
Oh God.
Sorry. He catches with you.
Yeah, no. Just
Well,
You're gonna have to crit to
Okay.
tie. You're gonna have to crit to tie.
I hate to.
I mean, I guess do
I'm
it.
not going to stop you from using it. Use them as you see fit.
I have to try.
All right. I hate to see you went through all that pain.
You're gonna be pissed when you're about
But
to
it's
get
in
bit
character.
hurt later
It's in
on.
character. He's using his last ditch.
That's true. That's true.
It's in character.
Go for
He's
it.
using his
You
last
got
ditch
4 of
effort
them.
to.
Yeah, 4 of them.
Oh! It's a tie!
Holy shit.
Way to play the backboard. Way to play the backboard.
That's awesome. Crit on crit action. So here's the thing. He catches you.
That's incredible.
He catches you with the ray of frost, and then he swings the staff around, and he kind of winds it up like 2-handed. He's gonna just come down and
Like, there's no way for you to get away.
And exactly. And he says, this is how we do it uptown. And he's coming down. He's frozen you in place, kind of, and he's trying to come down with it, and you just the staff like right between your hands, and that's a tie. We got to redo that round.
Wow.
That I got to.
Thanks, Bubbly.
Thank you, Bubbly.
Worth it.
Whenever I need to crit, I reach for a cool glass of bubbly.
Wow.
A Or Bublé.
Oh, Bublé. That was amazing. I feel sorry for ever doubting you. We all tried to talk you out of that so hard, but you believed in yourself. Wow,
Yeah.
that was amazing.
Deep down.
Nice.
All right,
Nice.
back on top.
So now you've caught the staff. How do you get him this time?
I catch the staff, and then I like dart around him
Yep.
and go to the other side of the room. And as I'm going, I cast grease on the floor.
Oh, nice. So
he's gonna
get
chase
back
after.
here, you little. And he tries to run after you.
Yep.
And he just slips and just crack. Oh, my hip on the my hip. Oh.
This is the finale
This
right
is it.
here.
Yeah,
Wow.
this is.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
That's
Oh!
nice.
All right.
So what's
It's a
the
4 to
last?
5.
Oh my
What's the
gosh.
last one?
Yeah, I envision him.
He's starting to get back up. He slipped on the grease, but he's getting back up.
his staff ready. Wadsworth's getting his staff ready, and he's getting ready to cast another spell.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, there's 4 dangles. Cast mirror image.
Nice.
Cast mirror image, and he doesn't know who to hit. And they all just sort of converge on him
Yeah.
at the same time.
Yeah.
And turns out the far left one was Dangle. He
Just
just
this
Kidney
gang,
punch.
this gang of Dangles are all like, yeah, get him, get him, get him.
Nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. And so yeah, wham! You just and he just tapped up. He says, good one, Master Dangle. Oh. He says,
terrible one.
This-
Wizard.
He said, that was pretty close. He says,
Yeah,
I
I
feel
let it be close.
I feel a little sharper. Thank you. I think I
Now you
think
go reflect on what you've learned today.
I will.
Don't fuck with me.
Okay, right. I won't. I saw. That was amazing. That was unreal.